being discussed and mentioned in this session. Okay. Right. So at this moment, we have 27 out of 30 students who are supposed to be here. I hope that some of your friends who are supposed to be here by now, they can join soon. Okay. So before we begin with our class today, as usual, 28 now. Okay, out of 30. So before we begin with the lesson, I'm going to check the attendance. So again, it's very simple. When I call upon your name, just reply by saying yes. Okay? All right. Tengku Aiman Arif, are you here?
Yes, sir. I hear
Okay.
you.
Muhammad Aiman bin Muhammad Ghazali, are you here or are you still on medical leave, Aiman?
Aiman is in medical leave.
Still in medical leave. Okay. All right. He texted me about it. Hopefully, he's getting well soon. Okay. All right. Muhammad Razif, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Daniel Shazriman. Daniel
Yes,
Shazriman.
sir.
Okay, all right. Muhammad Nazrul Shahzwan.
Yes, sir.
All right. One Muhammad Ali Firdaus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Ashraf bin Zainul.
Yes, sir.
All right. Muhammad Amir Zakwan bin Abdul Ghani.
Yes, sir.
All right. Muhammad Akmal bin Zulkifli.
Yes, sir.
All right. Muhammad Afiq Rafikin bin Muhammad Atan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Fatih bin Cik Muhammad Jalil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Amirul Zuhairi bin Zulkifli.
Yes, sir.
All right. Abang Muhammad Mustaqim.
Yes, sir.
Right. Siti Nur Ayu Azlin.
Saya, sir.
Alright, Hazim Shakir.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Datu Muhammad Nur Faizuddin.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Aiman Hakal.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Hudami Iklash.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Matsani.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Megat Muhammad Nur Fahmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rabiatul Adawiyah.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Andi Izzat Ikhwan.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Syamil bin Muhammad Syokri.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nurin Fatihah.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Zaim bin Muhammad Syukri.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Johan Bukhari.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Akmal Daniel bin Kamal Izzat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Izzat bin Sazali. Muhammad Izzat bin Sazali. Muhammad Izzat bin Sazali is not here. Muhammad Izzat Izani.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Nur Haziq bin Zainal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright. Alright, so most of you are here except for Muhammad Izzat bin Sazali. Okay, right. So done about that. I'm going to share my screen now with all of you. Hopefully you can be on the same page with me. At the same time, please try to log in to Kalam as well because some of the things that we are going to do today will be based from Kalam. Okay. Okay, we are now looking at the weekly planner. So we are now in week 8, still under the same topic, process and procedure. And last week, we have covered introduction to SOP, whereby we have looked at the definition of standard operating procedure. And then we have looked at the types of SOP. There are 2 types of it, technical SOP and administrative SOP. Okay. And then we have looked at the 3 types of technical SOP. One is graphic SOP. Number 2 is flowchart SOP. Number 3 is hierarchical SOP. We have also looked at the format of technical SOP. Okay, the template given to you is just a template. So once you're going to start working later on, maybe the company that you are working with will have their own template. But basically, the contents of the SOP will be the same. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So today we are going to look at supposedly over here, okay, flowchart SOP and hierarchical SOP. But since I believe that it is not really crucial for us to look at flowchart and hierarchical SOP, and you can do your own reading, And I believe that you have done your own reading about it. So today we are going to discuss about the activities that I asked you to do last week. Okay, there are 3 activities that I asked you to do last week. But at the same time, today we are going to discuss also about your assessment 2. Okay, assessment 2A, which is reading SOP, and assessment 2B, listening SOP. Okay, so today we are going to look at the activities, right, and then the answers for what you have done last week. Okay, if you have not completed, okay, don't worry, because today we are going to discuss about the answers, and we are going to have a look at how you are supposed to do it. Okay, so last week in week 7, okay, I'm looking at column now under module 2 process and procedure, week 7. I have uploaded these 3 activities there for you to do it. Okay, lactating cow information transfer activity. Number 2, history of underground utility tunnels info transfer activity. And lastly, pass alarm information transfer activity. Okay, so today we are going to look at this activity, what will be the answers, and how you can get the answers correctly. Okay, lactating cow information transfer activity. For history of underground utility tunnels and pass alarm, okay, I will share the answers in our Telegram group so that you can refer to it once you have completed the exercise, and you can double check whether you got it correct or not. Okay, so that is about the things that we are going to do today. So for week 8, okay, for this week, right, the main 3 formats for standard operating procedure, you can just read this together with this additional resources on process flow chart and how to use it, and the writing guide on standard operating procedure. But what we are going to do today, okay, when we are discussing about lactating cow, it is going to be the one that you are going to have for your assessment 2A, which is reading SOP. All right? Okay. So listening strategies over here, you can read this on your own. Next week, in our first meeting, we are going to do the listening activity here. Listening activity 1, listening activity 2, and listening activity 3. So next week, in our first meeting, which is on Monday, we are going to do the listening exercises. So maybe we are going to have it to be conducted on physically. I mean, I come to the class and you come to the class as well. And we are going to do the activities whereby I will need you to bring your devices with you, maybe your smartphone or maybe your computers. Okay, it depends. All right, but I will let you know about it. Okay, for SAFA learning activities over here, this is the activity that I want you to do during your 1-hour class on Wednesday. So let me open it for you and show it to you how to do it. Okay, so you click on SAFA learning activities. You can do this on Wednesday. Okay, it's going to be for asynchronous class. All right, you click on it and then it will bring you to this link. Okay, you click this link and it will bring you to this particular page. Okay, so B2 listening test, B2 is actually the SAFA levels, and it is hoped that you are able to achieve the B2 level by the end of this course, hopefully, inshallah. Okay, all right, so under this page, okay, we have several components, not components, I can say topics. Okay, education, accommodation, leisure, tourism, travel, health, the environment, and describing places. So basically, there are several topics that you can do in the asynchronous class on Wednesday. Okay, so let's pick this particular topic, education. You can click on education here. It will bring you to this page. Okay, so on top of this page, okay, B2 listening education, this is the recording. So you can click the play button here, and while you are listening to the recording, you can answer the questions that follow. Okay, so here is what you can do during the 1-hour slot on Wednesday, asynchronous class. Is it clear, class?
Clear, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
right. Okay, so now let us have a look at this one. Where is it? Okay, lactating cow information transfer activity. Right, let me open and make it bigger for you. So this is the question that I have uploaded in Kalam. Okay, as you can see on top here, it is stated that it is graphic SOP. So you are supposed to transfer these topic, okay, this information into graphic SOP. Okay, so read the text carefully and write a complete SOP based on it. Use the SOP format provided. So how to feed lactating cows, okay? So basically there are 3 paragraphs on how to feed lactating cows, okay? And then given down here is the template that you normally use for your SOP. So this is the general template that we are introducing to you. Again, no worries, because later on when you're going to start working, the SOP template will be different, because different company will apply different type of template, okay? But the contents will be the same. So from the information in the 3 paragraphs over here, you need to transfer it into this template. Anyone has completed this activity? Class? Has anyone completed this activity? Okay, everyone is like being in silence. Why? Sorry, sir, we couldn't find the time to complete it. Am I correct? Ladies and gentlemen, have you completed this activity?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Done. Already done.
Yes.
I finished it just now.
Okay, just now. All right, okay. Never mind. If you have not completed yet, it is okay as long as you are here so that you can see how to do it correctly. Okay? All right. So I will be discussing about the answers over here. So here is the answer sheet for this activity, how to feed lactating cows. Okay? So let's go through it together. Okay, you can look at your own answers and let's check whether you got it correct or not. Okay. The reference number is SOP 005/15. So where do I get the information from? Class? Where do I get the information from?
Vegas 3.
If you go and refer to the last paragraph over here, it is stated that, okay, the last line, your deadline is on 1st December 2015, and the reference number for this document is SOP 005/15. So this is going to be similar like your assessment to A. Okay, assessment to A is going to be pair work. Okay, all right. There are 30 of you in this class, so there will be 15 pairs altogether. All right. So later on in the Telegram group, I will give the instructions, and then I will give like a list that you can edit later. Okay, and then you put your name and your partner name together with the metric number for the assessment. Okay, so that will be later. All right, so for assessment 2A, the reference number will be the same. How can you get the reference number will be the same as what I am showing it to you right now? So if it is stated in the question paper or the text given to you, you need to use the reference number. You cannot create it on your own. So if it is not given, then you need to create it. Okay. So SOP 005/15 will be the reference number. So the date, as it is stated in the last line as well, in the last paragraph, your deadline is on 1st December 2015, and that is how you are supposed to write your date. Okay. 1st December 2015. For the page number here, it depends on the number or the steps or procedures that you are going to take to perform the task. Okay, if it is a long procedure, so maybe you are going to have more than 3 pages. Okay, 3 to 5 pages, it is normal. Okay, so please be very careful with this thing when you are preparing for assessment to A, because why? Okay, when it comes to assessment to A, you are given enough time. Okay, just to let you know, it is going to be conducted starting from the second meeting next week, which is on Wednesday, up until Sunday for assessment 2A. Okay, so double check on this thing. Okay, because normally what happened in the previous session or previous semesters, okay, some of your seniors, all right, they wrote it perfectly, but they forgot to edit the page number once they move to the next pages. So if it is the second page, it is supposed to be 2 of 3. And it is going to be, if it is going to be the last page, it is going to be 3 of 3. So please be very careful about this. You and your partner, okay, you double check on the contents. You double check on the arrangement of the pages. You double check whether you got it correct or not. Okay, I mean you write the information correctly or not. So please be very careful about this. Okay, so reference number has been given, the date has been given as well, and then the page number, you write it accordingly. Okay, let's go to the title. So standard operating procedures for feeding lactating cows. So where do we get the information from? By looking at the title of the text. How to feed lactating cows. So by referring to the title, you can also write the title for the SOP. So do not forget, you need to have this standard operating procedures and also the linking word for. So this is a must. Okay, standard operating procedures for, what is the procedure? Feeding lactating cows. Okay, so whatever information that you are going to put in the template for assessment 2A need to be taken from the text or the document itself. Right. Okay. Department or unit. This SOP has been written for the research and development department. Okay. Right. So you need to have this line. It is a must, compulsory. But this line over here will depend on the text or the question given to you. Okay. So you must have it written like this. This SOP has been written for the, okay, which department. So how to get this information? We go back to the text. Okay, and then if you look at the first paragraph over here, you can see it clearly stated there. You are the senior assistant in the research and development department. Okay, your manager, Mr. Chong Kong Meng, requires you to prepare a SOP on how to feed the lactating cows. Okay, so you need to prepare the SOP. You are the senior assistant and you are working in the research and development department. So it is clearly stated that the department or unit over here, the answer is supposed to be for the research and development department. Okay, right. If you're asking me, sir, is it correct that, okay, all of the information is going to be like the one that I am presenting now? No, because the information can be in any paragraph. It is not necessarily be in the first paragraph, in the second paragraph, or in the third paragraph. It can happen or it can appear in any parts of the paragraph. Okay, so just go through the text carefully, okay, since that you are given enough time to go through it, to read through it. Okay, you and your partner must read it, critically. Go through it in detail, okay? Right, so that is about department and unit. Then we go to the purpose over here. So the purpose of this SOP is to ensure that all general workers and part-timers are well equipped with the knowledge of feeding lactating cows and have the ability to carry out the job efficiently. Okay, all right. So this is going to be the line that you need to have. All right. Okay, the purpose of this SOP is to. So that is very important. You need to have this line, followed by the information that you can get from the text. Okay, where to get this information? We go back to the text. Okay, and as you can see over here, the second line, the first paragraph, the purpose is to ensure that all general workers and part-timers are well equipped with the knowledge of feeding lactating cows and have the ability to carry out the job efficiently. Okay, so that is the aim of you having the SOP, whereby it is to ensure that all general workers and part-timers are well equipped with the knowledge of feeding, lactating cows, and have the ability to carry out the job efficiently. Okay, so in the purpose, you can have the specific audience who will be performing the task. So as it is stated there, okay, general workers and part-timers will be the person who will be performing the task. Okay, so if you scroll down to this template, who can perform this SOP, you have gotten the answers straight away. Okay, all right. Okay, next, personal protective equipment, gloves, working coats, and boots. So we scroll back to the text, okay. Please include the safety personal protective equipment, gloves, working coats, and boots, and write down the tools in the SOP. So it is clearly stated there what will be your PPE or personal protective equipment, the gloves, working coats, and boots. Okay. If you couldn't get the information regarding this, right, let's say for assessment 2A, you can Google it, okay? And the material that you use to get the information should be included as part of the reference material, okay? So reference materials here, okay? Before that, tools, TMR mixer, tractor, feeder notebook, and bins, okay? We're going to discuss about it afterwards, okay? But before that, reference materials here, it is stated here, the answer is research manuals. Okay, where do we get the information from? So you go back to the first paragraph, and it is stated here, your reference materials are from the research manuals from your department. Okay, so if it is given in the text, or if it is given in the document for assessment 2A, you need to pick it and put it in the reference materials. If it is not given, okay, you can answer whether it is none, or let's say if you refer to other sources, then you need to get it from the other sources. You need to name it, okay? All right, so we have the tools over here, TMR mixer, tractor, feeder notebook, and bins. Okay, so where to get this information for the tools? Let's go to the second paragraph. Okay, all right. Feeding the lactating cows requires 4 steps: preparing feed bunk, loading mixer, mixing feed, and distributing feed. To prepare feed bunk, feed refusals are swept to the end of the feed bunk. Then they are scooped into the TMR mixer. So over here we have TMR mixer. Okay, that is going to be tool number 1. In the feeder notebook, the weight is recorded. Okay, the feeder notebook. All right. Okay. At the steer pan, food refusals are distributed in bunk. Next, load the mixer. So it is not an ordinary mixer. It is TMR mixer. So you have gotten 2 tools here. You have identified 2 tools over here. So to do this, the amount of ingredients to make stated in the feeder notebook is checked. Protein concentrate from bin number 1 is added, and IBS is recorded in the feeder notebook. Okay. As you can see, the third tool, okay, stated in the answer is bins. Okay, bins here, meaning that it appears in plural form, more than 1. Okay, where do we get the information from? Right, look back at this part. After that, ground corn from bin number 2 is added and followed by an IBS record in the feeder notebook again. Then from bunker 1, okay, bunker 1 here is actually bin 1. Corn silage is added and IBS is recorded in the feeder notebook 2. Lastly, from bunker number 2 or bin number 2, haylage is added and once again IBS is recorded in feeder notebook. For mixing feed, the sub-steps are as follows. So you can see there are bin number 1 and bin number 2. So there are 2 bins, okay? So you just write it as bins. Okay, we have the TMR mixer, we have the feeder notebook, and we have the bins, okay? 3 tools altogether now. For exactly 5 minutes, the feed is mixed. While the mixer is running, do not move the tractor, okay? So you can see the tractor is there. Okay, but you are not sure whether it is the correct tool or not. Okay. Lastly, in the feeder notebook, the total amount of feed is recorded. In distributing feed, which is the final step, feed is distributed evenly along the entire length of the feed bunk. Again, in feeder notebook, time is recorded. Tractor and mixer are returned to the equipment shed. So you know equipment here meaning that it is a tool. So we have the mixer here, TMR mixer, and tractor as well is going to be part of the tools. So now we have 4 tools all together. Okay, we have the TMR mixer, we have the tractor, we have the bins, okay, bin number 1, bin number 2, and we have the feeder notebook. Therefore, these are the answers for the tools. Is it clear, class?
Clear, sir.
Okay, right. Next, the procedure, as it is stated in the second paragraph, there are 4 steps actually. And since that this is going to be graphic SOP, I'm going to explain to you afterwards on the procedure. Okay, so as you can see over here, it is written in hierarchical form, but I'll show it to you how it is going to be written in a graphic SOP afterwards. Okay, we go to this part first. Prepared by, okay, name and senior assistant. Remember in the beginning of the text, okay, it is stated here, you are the senior assistant in the research and development department. Your manager, Mr. Chong Kong Meng, requires you to prepare a SOP on how to feed the lactating cows. So your manager asks you to prepare the SOP, right? And you are the senior assistant in the research and development department. So that is your designation, your job title, okay? And then the person who asks you to do it will be the reviewer, okay? So Mr. Chong Kong Meng here, or also known as the manager of the company, will be the reviewer of your SOP, okay? And who will be the approver? So you go to the last part over here, you are required to complete the SOP, and once your manager approves, he will send the document to Mr. Bhaskaran Raj, your Deputy Director for endorsement. Okay, all right. So Mr. Bhaskaran Raj here will be your Deputy Director, and he is the person who will approve the SOP. So your answers for that particular part will be like this. Okay, the name here, you can change to your name, and your designation is senior assistant. Okay, reviewed by Chan Kong Meng, the manager. All right, approved by Bhaskaran Raj, deputy director. Okay, all right. So this is how you are supposed to organize your information, or how you are supposed to transfer the information from the text or document into the template. And this is what you are going to do in your assessment 2A. Okay, right. So please have a look at the procedure here. There are 4 steps: prepare feed bunk, load mixer, mix feed, and distribute feed. Okay, I'm going to switch to my other device over here so that I can show it to you, and you can have a clearer picture on how to do this. Okay, I am now sharing my screen on my other device for all of you. Okay, all right. So as it is stated over there, it is supposed to be graphic SOP. Can you see my screen, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So graphic SOP should appear from left to right. Am I correct? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So it should be from left to right. So we have 4 steps altogether. So step number 1, prepare feed bunk. Step number 2, we have load mixer. Step number 3, we have mix feed. Step number 4, we have distribute fit. Okay, so we have all the 4 steps stated there, okay, in graphic SOP. So when you are preparing it, okay, you can use your Microsoft Word, or if you're good at drawing, you can also use your own drawing style or format or platform to include the graphic SOP. Okay, all right, this is just an example so that you can have a clearer understanding of how to organize your points in graphic SOP. Okay, next we are going to have all of the boxes here. So all of the boxes here will be the one containing the procedures for each of the step. Okay, for each of the step. Alright, okay. So prepare fit bunk, we have procedure 1, 2, and 3, and so on. Load mixer, we have procedure 1, 2, and 3, and so on. Mix feed, okay, step number 3, we are going to have procedure 1, 2, and 3, and such. And the same goes at the final step, which is distribute feed. You're going to have the steps, okay. So let's have a look at the answers for number 1. Okay, step number 1, prepare feed bunk. Okay, so procedure number 1, sweep the feed refusals to the end of the feed bunk. Okay, so that is procedure number 1 under step number 1, prepare feed bunk. So what are you supposed to do next? So for each of the procedure, okay, you need to get the images or graphics that support that particular procedure. Okay, so in this context, for example, I am drawing it. Okay, you can get it from Google. I show it how afterwards. Okay, so let's say this is the sweep. Okay, let's say this is the sweep, or this is the broom. All right. Okay, and then you have the feed bunk. Okay, this is the feed bunk, for example. All right, so sweep the feed refusals to the end of the feed bunk. So you can have the picture of people performing the sweeping act, or you can have the picture of a broom. Okay, this is a broom. In Malay, it is called penyapu. Okay, all right, and then this is the feed bunk. Okay, this is the feed bunk. Okay, all right. So if you're good at drawing, then you can have this kind of approach, or you can also use images or graphics taken from the internet. Okay, I'll show it to you afterwards. Okay, right. Let's say in the second step, which is load mixer, you have the second procedure. Okay, let's go to the second procedure. Add protein concentrate from bin 1 and record IBS in the feeder notebook. Okay, so you can have maybe the image is like this. Okay, this is protein. Okay, for example, and then this is bin 1. Okay, and then you have to, right? Okay, you have taken it from bin 1, and then you need to record it in the feeder notebook. Okay, this is feeder notebook, for example. Okay, so if your question to me, sir, can we like compile all of the procedure? Okay, let's say you have procedure 1, 2, and 3, and then we just create or find the images or graphics that support the procedure under it. Yes, you can do that, or you can also do like this. Okay, so meaning that after procedure number 1 under prepare fit bunk over here, okay, procedure number 1 here, Then you can have the images. When you go to the second procedure, you can have the other graphics or images that support about the procedure. No problems, okay? All right. So this is how you can organize your graphic operating procedure, graphic SOP. Okay. Any questions so far, class? Class, any question?
I think not yet, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
So I'm going to show you how to find the information, okay, or the images that can support your graphic SOP. Okay, so let's say if you go to Google, all right, you type fit bunk. Okay, you don't know what is a fit bunk, okay, and then you need to know how does it look like. Okay, so you type fit bunk, okay, and then you click on images. You click on images over here. Okay, you type fit bunk and then you click on images. Okay, let's say this is the fit bunk that you are referring to. Okay, so you can take this. Okay, all right. So since that this is not yours, you are taking it from somewhere else. Of course, you need to cite the sources where you have taken the information from. Okay, so it's either you can copy and paste the image straight away from here, or it is better for you to click visit here. Okay, and this is going to be the link where you have gotten the information from. Okay, right. So let's say if you copy and paste, right click on this image, you click copy, and then you go to this answer here. Okay, right. You go to prepare fit bunk. Okay, so this is under the first step. Okay, the first procedure here, sweep the fit refusals to the end of the fit bunk. Okay, so you're going to insert the image of the fit bunk. So this is huge. You can resize it. Okay, make it smaller. Okay, just make it smaller so that it fits the template. Okay, so this is the image of the fit bunk. So the same goes when you are trying to find the word or the image for the word sweep. Okay, so you can do this method. Okay, class? All right. So remember, it should be arranged from left to right. Okay, in this context, for this activity, there are 4 steps altogether, as I have shared with you in the Jamboard just now. That is how you are supposed to arrange your information taken from the text in the procedure. Okay, is it clear? Clear? All right. Okay, let us recap. Let us have a look back at the things that I've shared with you before this. Okay, remember, it should be from left to right here. All right, the graphic SOP. Okay, and then let's say there are 4 steps. Okay, for example, that we have over here: prepare feed bunk, load mixer, mix feed, and distribute feed. So you need to have the boxes under each of the steps over there, and then you can add this shape as well to show that you are moving from step number 1 to step number 2 to step number 3, and this is the final step, for instance. Okay, so this is number 1, number 2, number 3. So you will know that you are moving from left to right. Okay, so this is going to be for your assessment 2A on what do you call it, your next assessment soon. Okay, so that will be your style of writing it. Okay, class? So your assessment 2A should be in the form of graphic SOP. If you use flowchart, if you use hierarchical, no marks will be given for the format. Remember that. Okay, your assessment 2A will be in the form of graphic SOP. So let's talk about assessment now. Okay, so we have assessment 2 Right? It is divided into two, 2A and 2B. Okay, so 2A is going to be from Wednesday. Okay, next week, Wednesday is going to be 6, 7, 8, 15. Wednesday, 15 December to Sunday. Okay, Sunday, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, 19 December. So basically, you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 5 days to work on assessment 2A. Okay, the text will be given to you. The document will be given to you. Each pair will have different documents. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, but first thing that we are going to do on Wednesday will be assessment 2B. Okay, this is what we are going to do first. Assessment 2B will be listening. Okay, we'll be listening test. All right. So let me have a look at the question paper so that we can discuss a bit about the format of the question paper. Okay. So assessment 2B will be divided into three parts: A, B, and C. Okay, assessment 2A, reading, SOP. Assessment 2B will be listening, SOP. Okay, all right, there will be three parts for the listening SOP or assessment 2B, right? Okay, and then you are given 40 minutes for this. Okay, 40 minutes for assessment 2B. Okay, right. So it is going to be in the form of a Google form. Okay, it is going to be either in Google form, meaning that we are going to conduct it online, or it is going to be in the form of test paper. Okay, so we have not decided it yet. Maybe it is going to be in the Google form, but you need to come to the class, okay, and bring your device together with you, sit there, and then we are going to conduct the test there and then. You just need to submit everything in Google form, not in test paper. Okay, so we have not decided on the platform yet, but we will update you as soon as possible. Okay, so let's say if it is a Google form or if it is in the paper, you need to state your name, your metric number, section, lecturer's name, and the date as well. Okay, so the assessment comprises of three parts: A, B, and C. Okay, and then the total mark for the test is, okay, for the listening SOP, it is going to be 20 marks. Okay, it is going to be 20 marks altogether. Let me have a look at the reading part. How many marks will it be? I haven't got the question, the right question with me now. But okay, let's have a look. Okay, for SOP, reading SOP, it is going to be 40 marks. Okay, all right. So let's talk about the listening part. Okay, so for part A over here, it's not working. Why it is like this? Okay, like never mind. Okay, for part A, it is going to be question 1 until question 10. So 10 questions altogether. All right. So question 1 until question 10. For part B and part C, it is going to be 5 questions, okay, for each part. So part B, 5 questions, okay. Part C, 5 questions. Okay, right. So let's have a look at the types of question that you are going to have for each of the part. Okay, so for, again, assessment to be part A, it is going to be question 1 up to question 10. Okay, and it is in the form of MCQ or multiple choice question. Okay, A or B or C or D. So you need to pick the right answer or the correct answer. Let's say D is the correct answer, then you need to take it, or you highlight it or you take it. Okay, so that will be part A for part A. All right. For part B, okay, let me check the question paper. Okay, for part B, right, it is going to be 5 questions altogether. Okay, still MCQ, but you have only 3 options, A or B or C. So it is lesser than part A. Okay, you have only 3 options, A, B or C. So you choose which one is going to be the best answer. Okay, for part C, still 5 questions. So altogether you have 20 questions. Okay, it is going to be in the form of true or false. Okay, so you have part A, part B, part C. You combine it together, and then you are going to have 20 questions for assessment 2B. And it is going to be only 40 minutes. Okay, right, again, for part A, there will be 10 questions. Okay, and then you need to choose the correct answer from the options A, B, C, or D over here. All right, and then for part B and part C, you will have 5 questions each for each of the parts over there. So part B, 5 questions, part C, 5 questions. For part B, okay, the options are limited to A, B, or C, still MCQ, multiple choice question, A, B, or C, and then you pick the right answer. So maybe B is the correct answer for you. You need to take it. Okay, all right. And then for part C, it is going to be true or false. So let's say if first question under part C, if the answer is true, then you need to take true. If the second question, the answer is false, you need to take false. So it is very straightforward. And the activities that we are going to do later on will be similar like this. Okay, right? For assessment 2B. Okay, so 40 minutes, assessment 2B. Okay, 20 marks altogether. All right, it is going to be in the form of maybe Google form or test paper. Okay, and I have discussed or presented to you how is it going to be conducted, what are the format of it. For assessment 2A, it is going to be 40 marks, all right, and then it will be conducted from Wednesday, 15 December up until Sunday, 19 December 2021, okay, and once you have completed this, you need to submit it. Okay, each pair need to submit only one. Okay, submit only one submission per pair in Google Classroom. So next week, on Monday, we are going to do the listening exercises. So on Wednesday, we are going to have the listening test first. Okay, so this is going to be conducted, all right, assessment 2B. Okay, it is going to be conducted on 15 December 2021. Okay, class hour all right? Okay, for 40 minutes. And then after you have completed answering assessment 2B, I will give you the short briefing regarding assessment 2A. Then you can disperse and start working on assessment 2A together with your partner. Any question, class?
Right now, no, sir.
Okay, so I hope that it is really clear for all of you. All right. I haven't looked at the question paper yet. Okay, but it is going to be similar like what I am presenting to you. So just get prepared about it. Okay. All right. And then if you don't have any other question regarding the graphic SOP, I hope that you know by now, okay, how to do the graphic SOP, especially for assessment 2A. And next week on Monday, we are going to do the listening exercises for the test. Okay. But this Wednesday, for our 1 hour slot, which is asynchronous class, you can go to Kalam. Okay, you can go to Kalam and then scroll down under week 8. Scroll down under week 8 and then you look at CEFR learning activities, CEFR listening activities. So you click on that and you can do the activities or the listening activities there on your own. Okay, so once you have completed answering the activities, they will show you the answers. Okay, whether you got it correct or not. Okay, so next Monday, we are going to continue with listening activity 1, listening activity 2, and listening activity 3. And we are going to discuss the answers as well. And on Wednesday, we are going to have the listening test. So just get prepared about it. Okay, all right. So if you don't have any other question, I'm going to stop the recording session now. And before we end our class, okay, I would like to